Good afternoon and welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at MarketSite, we have Chuck Self. He is the Chief Investment Officer over at iSectors, and we are going to focus on staying invested in the market. Thank you so much for joining us. Chuck, it's great to have you with us, and this is such a great topic right now. If you would have stayed invested when we had some of that volatility, it was quite a comeback here.
Yes, and you know, if everyone could, they should just stay invested 100% in stocks all the time, because stocks are the best asset classes over time.
Right.
But most people can't take the ride. And so people, if they're professionals working with individuals, or if you're investors yourself, you have to decide what will it take for you to stay invested so that when the market recovers, you're still there.
And that's why diversification is so key.
That's right. And you know, the things you're going to diversify into most of the time won't perform as well as stocks over the long run, but for short periods of time, they'll buffet the downside. So that's why you need to be in bonds and also alternative investments in order to have that proper diversification.
So let's talk about that. Long treasuries, TLT is one way to add that hedge onto your equity portfolio.
Correct. And TLT is very uncorrelated with the equity market. And yes, we're in a secular interest rate time of increases, but still it is a investment that for a small part of your portfolio is necessary, so that when you have these downturns like we had in the market in the fourth quarter, you have something that is doing well. It was actually up in the fourth quarter, and so it balanced off the downside of the equity.
Now, what about precious metals? Because they have a very diverse set of returns, and
Right.
Gold is typically used as the hedge there, but there's more to precious metal investing than just gold. How do you position your portfolio if you are concerned about an equity downturn?
Well, gold, of course, is what people know best, and gold did well in the fourth quarter. It was up 8%, but there's a wide range of precious metals, including silver, platinum, and palladium. Palladium has been the darling in the precious metals market. It was actually up 13% in the fourth quarter, but platinum was down 3%. So you can have a wide range of returns in the precious metals market whenever you use them. So we feel you should have a diversified set of precious metals. So you get them all in ETFs these days, so they're relatively low cost, easy to trade, or find a investment advisor that has that kind of strategy.
Right. It was really interesting because you wouldn't think of platinum as a hedge. Gold is always the first thing that comes to mind.
Right.
So there are ETFs that are available where it's a mixture of precious metals, so you kind of avoid that single asset risk.
Right, yeah, and each one of those classes have an ETF available to them, and then there are some that has a combination of the precious metals. So it's very easy for investors to get the complete diversification that they need in order to stay invested in the market.
All right, thank you so much, Chuck, as always, for joining us. And thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.